Love functions like a potent drug, empowering us to achieve all that we aspire to. Kim wedded Kevin, who is disabled, and encountered the surprise of a lifetime on their wedding day. Stay tuned to unravel the events when she married a disabled person and was met with a shocking surprise. Before delving into Kim and Kevin's story, we have another compelling tale to share with you today. Jennifer and Mike. When a bride walks down the aisle, everyone looks at her and admires how beautiful she looks in her dress. Brides want to look their best on their wedding day, so they pay attention to every detail, from their hair to their shoes. Most brides worry about small things like whether the cake will arrive on time or if their dress will fit. These are minor problems that can be fixed. However, Jennifer had a big dream. She needed to learn how to walk. Jennifer had a serious spinal cord injury from a car accident in 2008 that left her in a wheelchair. This accident changed her life instantly. Such accidents can strain relationship, and Jennifer's boyfriend, Mike, had to decide whether to stay with her or leave and find someone without physical limitations. Instead of leaving her, he stepped up to the plate and showed his true colors. Not everyone can handle being supportive for such a long period of time. He would drive 3 hours one way, 3 days a week, to be with her during the intense physical therapy sessions. The accident didn't create distance, it actually brought Jennifer and Mike closer together. He decided that no matter what would happen in the future, he wanted Jennifer to be his wife. Jennifer decided from that moment on that she wanted to make a huge and possibly unachievable promise to herself. She was going to walk down the aisle at her wedding. This was a huge goal to make when you have a severe spinal cord injury, but for Jennifer, there were no limitations. She only focused on her end result, seeing herself walking down the aisle in her beautiful white dress with all her loved ones in attendance and Mike beaming a smile at the altar. Jennifer didn't let any negative thoughts take over from her vision. At physical therapy, she practiced with supportive rails and would sometimes practice in a borrowed wedding dress. Jennifer would always firmly state with such conviction that, "I will be walking down that aisle. It's not an if or a maybe, it's absolutely going to happen." Though those words were genuine, could it actually happen? Would she really be able to walk down the aisle? In April 2011, Jennifer was getting herself ready to walk down the aisle. The hall doors opened, and everyone's mouths opened as they were stunned into silence to see that Jennifer walked down the aisle, leg braces under her dress, holding on to her father and brother. The song "Walk With You" by Edwin McCain played in the background, and there wasn't a dry eye in the room. Jennifer, as she promised, made it to the end of the aisle where Mike eagerly waited. When they both said, "I do," her husband picked her up and carried her down the aisle into their new life. After the ceremony, Jennifer and her husband were able to have their first dance together as husband and wife, something that no one expected to happen. Jennifer's determination helped her overcome her physical limitations, and her dream came true, exactly how she envisioned. It was no easy task. The struggle she endured was constant, yet Mike and their love inspired her. The power of love is an incredible thing. Before we move on to our final story, remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Kim and Kevin. Weddings are a day filled with emotions for everyone involved. Some weddings, like Kim and Kevin's, are particularly memorable. Kim was marrying Kevin, her disabled partner, and she received a surprising gift when she walked down the aisle. What was this tear-jerking surprise? Stay tuned to find out what happened when she married a disabled person and experienced a shocking surprise at her wedding. Broken legs are a common injury that can happen to anyone. Usually, they are treated with surgery or a cast. When Kevin accidentally broke his leg, he expected to be in a cast for a few weeks to allow it to heal. However, Kevin's situation took a turn for the worse when he noticed something unusual happening to his leg. After a visit to the doctors, he learned that his broken leg had developed into a rare and severe nerve disorder called reflex sympathetic dystrophy. This disorder causes chronic pain due to damaged tissue, leading to malfunctioning of the nervous system. The doctors informed Kevin that his case was the worst they had ever seen, adding to the challenges he faced. Kevin was in the hospital once a month for 10 years. Something needed to be done. So what was going to happen to Kevin's leg? How could he recover from his diagnosis? There are some conditions that cannot be treated, and his case of RSD was so severe that, unfortunately, there was only one option for a pain-free life: amputation. He could, however, keep his leg, but that would mean he'd live the rest of his life in non-stop pain. Kevin didn't want that to happen. Then Kevin made the brave decision to amputate his leg. The amputation resulted in Kevin being bound to a wheelchair, unable to walk. He kept his spirits up and never complained. They say once you hit rock bottom, it can only go up from there. For Kevin, having his leg amputated was an extremely challenging process to go through, but things were about to change for him in ways he couldn't imagine. One day, he met his future fiancée Kim. Midway, Kevin's life had changed in a split second. Their eyes met. Kim was hypnotized by a smile. Kevin knew it was love at first sight the moment they met. But would she be able to handle his disability? Kim and Kevin knew their love was meant to be. Several months after dating, Kevin proposed to Kim, and she delightfully said yes. The wheelchair didn't matter to Kim. She focused on the person inside. "I don't see the wheelchair at all, never have. It doesn't bother me. It's the person inside." not who they are physically. His heart makes up for any lack of limb he has. He's the most amazing human being I've ever met in my entire life. Without hesitation, Kim and Kevin knew they were meant to be together. When couples plan the wedding, there's always a chance for arguments to arise about themes, flowers, and decorations. Weddings aren't easy celebrations to organize. Some brides will hide receipts from their fiancés in hopes of getting what they want. Not exactly a good start for a marriage. However, Kevin and Kim both worked together and planned everything down to the smallest detail to celebrate their perfect day. During the planning, Kim thought she knew everything that was going on, but what she didn't know was that Kevin had lied to her about something he was hiding, something big. What was he hiding? Kevin wanted to surprise Kim for the wedding and show his true love and affection for her. But how was he going to do it? He was physically limited to make any grand gestures. However, what Kim didn't know was that Kevin was going behind her back and taking physical therapy lessons to learn how to walk. His goal was to be able to walk her down the aisle. Would he be able to do it? He dreamed of standing up when the priest asked everyone to. Learning to walk without a limb is hard, and there's no guarantee it will happen. On the big day, Kevin looked great in his dress shirt and trousers as he waited in his chair at the front of the altar. The music started, and the bride walked down the aisle. She smiled as she looked into his eyes, knowing she was marrying the right man, even with his physical challenges. The priest then said, "Please stand up, everyone." All eyes were on Kevin. Did his dream come true? Could he stand in front of the altar and accept his soon-to-be wife? After the priest's request, Kevin grabbed his armrest and pushed himself up with all his strength, standing up on his own. He walked up to his bride, and they embraced as she cried tears of joy in his arms. Kim was his motivation. She was the reason he chose to learn how to walk instead of staying in his wheelchair. She inspired him to start a new life and begin a fresh chapter with his new wife. How did Kim feel about it? After the ceremony, Kim was overwhelmed with emotion. Not only had she just married her husband, but she had also witnessed him walk up to her for the first time in their relationship. Kim was amazed by the entire day. These stories are examples of how the mind can overcome obstacles. Your mind is a powerful tool, and nothing is impossible if you believe. What would your response be if your partner became disabled and then learned to walk for you? Share your thoughts in the comments. We enjoy hearing from you. Stay tuned for more.